I'm with Anne Culverwell, who is a Children's Rights and Complaints Officer in Newport, and we're at the Promoting Respectful Relationships Conference in Cardiff, which is all about combating bullying. And you're very much, Anne, in the front line of this. So what sort of complaints do you hear?
The kind of complaints I receive, especially in education, because that's what we're dealing with today, and specifically sexual bullying, is that usually the complaint has gone to the point where things are more extreme. That children are usually now excluding themselves from school because of the issues, relationship to the use of technology in bullying has become more prevalent, and the fact that normalisation of sexual bullying seems to be more apparent than it used to be. I mean, hands up skirts are a regular occurrence, and children, and especially girls, don't see that as something that they actually shouldn't have to take. They see it as a bit of a joke, and so those kind of issues get exacerbated and to the point where things get much worse. So I usually come in when those issues have actually got to the point where that young person is finding it so difficult to be included in the school environment. They exclude themselves, and then I usually end up coming in at that point. So I usually try and arrange an advocate for the person. I try to make sure that they are supported, to make sure that they're not seen as the victim. I try and encourage the parent to support that child and not become so emotionally attached that it causes problem for that child, and also that the child helps become part of that solving that problem. Because what happens is usually the child is sidelined, and the parent and the teachers start solving the problem without the involvement of that child. That's their choice, of course. If they don't want to be involved, I can't force them to be in that situation. But it's about the whole, and trying to encourage schools to actually look at how to recognise those issues and take an active, challenging role in them, and take them forward for other pupils within the schools. And it just doesn't mean about pupils in schools. I deal with situations in the community as well. That's much harder to handle because we're dealing with not a structure that's so in place that could actually solve things so easily. Because as we know, bullying doesn't just happen in schools. It happens on the school bus, it happens in youth centres, it happens in wherever the young people are actually.
And what sort of particular challenges does that bring out for schools or any other organisation?
I think the challenges it causes the fact that sometimes they don't communicate as well as each other amongst the staff. All staff, not just teachers, but dinner ladies, supervisors, clerical administrative staff. Sometimes the communication isn't as strong as it could be, and that's a challenge for the school to deal with. And also they don't recognise that that we have the issue of bystanders who can become more enable that peer pressure to further on. Or the fact is that the bully is very good at manipulating other people to bully for them, and so we don't recognise the trends that go through the whole process.